We have a story from the Daily Mail. Has to do with Meghan Markle a little bit. Will going woke make Netflix broke? Streaming giant could see shares slump further after losing 970,000 subscribers as it was blasted over canned Meghan Markle cartoon and transgender pregnancy comedy. What?
Oh, weird.
Well, okay. Well, here's the good news. I guess get woke or broke. Jeremy Boring of the Daily Wire tweets, Daily Wire just surpassed Disney to become the 6th largest podcast publisher in the country per Podtrac.
That's awesome.
Disney has a 100-year head start on us. It won't be enough as the years roll on and their war on their own audience continues. This is one of the biggest get woke, go brokes yet.
Did you know that Netflix predicted they would lose 2 million subscribers? And they didn't. So good for them. But they already know they're going to be going broke. I don't know if it's because
from the Meghan Markle fallout.
I don't know. I think it's partly because Stranger Things ended too.
Oh,
so
is that an ad? Is that an organic ad?
That is a real Netflix show.
That was
the
show.
Oh my god!
About a man who gets pregnant.
Yeah, it's weird.
As they do.
But everyone was like freaking out, like they made a woke movie, and I'm like, bro,
like
Junior
an
wasn't
anime
woke.
Yeah.
Remember Junior with Arnold?
Oh yeah.
He gets pregnant.
Oh good lord.
It's like, did you watch the trailer for this? It's not about being transgender. It's about a guy who gets pregnant. It's like Junior Part 2 or like a reboot or something.
So what's the plot there? How's
he
it
like
not woke?
finds out he got pregnant, and they're like, well, we don't know how it happened, but it did. And he's like, oh no, and then it's a guy who's pregnant.
Oh,
Where
okay.
does the baby come out?
No,
I think they mentioned
The
that in the
C-section.
movie. No, his ass or something.
Oh gosh, that's great.
That is butt.
I'm pretty sure you would die.
It's like kindergarten.
Yeah, but look. Disney definitely get woke, go broke. They wanted to play the groomer game. They can win it.
Yeah.
Now Daily Wire is bigger. That's kind of crazy if you think about it. The Daily Wire is only, 7 years old?
Yeah, very young.
Like
Less
7.
than a decade, I think. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
That's remarkable.
Here's what I see happening with the Daily Wire, Netflix, Disney. These big companies stood atop this massive shining hill. And everybody looked up at the shining people on the shining hill and said, I long to be atop there with you. And then one day, people started walking off the hill while screaming about weird stuff that made no sense. Daily Wire was like, guys, we can just walk up. Like, they're leaving. We'll walk right up.
Yeah.
They walked right up, and now they're standing there, and they're like, well, look at that. We're just here.
These people, like Walt Disney spent his whole life walking up the hill, grinding, getting to the top. And then once he's there, okay, now he's like, all right, son, would you like to take a helicopter up here with me? So, and the kids that never had to climb the mountain are on the top of the mountain. Mm-hmm. They don't understand the struggle. And people like Ben Shapiro and Jeremy Boring have climbed the mountain to get there. Those are the people we want on top of the mountain that know how to climb a mountain. The mountaineers.
That's right.
And the rest of it's just a skin suit. It's a corporate skin suit.
And it's the same as we were just talking about some of these politicians and the AOCs. There isn't a lot of respect for the patrimony, for what was built before I arrived. I forget the name of the current CEO of Disney, but he arrived with 100 years of this that other people built. And all you have to do in terms of the idea of patrimony and custody is you have to hold it, cherish it, granted try to expand it, but don't destroy it. And since they didn't have to climb that mountain, to use the analogy, since they didn't have to work hard to become members of Congress, they don't have a love for it. They don't have a respect. They don't have an awe of it. So they think it's easy to just destroy it. Pack the Supreme Court, put transgender cartoons on for 5-year-olds, and it's like, well, wait a second, this isn't yours. You're just the custodian of it. But nope, I'm going to destroy it.
Maybe it's just as simple. I mean, people don't want to work for someone else's project. They want to make their own.
Yeah. Well, they're making their own, all right, but they're destroying someone else's in the process.
We entered this era of meritocracy with the internet where people could make their own channels. One of the things we often run into with hiring is that it's like, oh, hey, we need this job and we need someone who's good at it. And it's really hard to find someone who's good at it because anyone who is good at it starts their own company instead of working for someone else's. So like we're in that era of meritocracy. The internet has democratized the process by which people can contract, get hired, or make their own thing. So who's left to work at Disney?
Yeah.
Woke weirdos? Nobody wants that. Meanwhile, people are launching their own projects, starting their own YouTube channels, or at least trying to do so.
Yeah, we talked about Maker Studios before the show. I was involved with these people, Lisa Nova, Ben Donovan, Dan Zapinski, like on we had the station, 2007 YouTube, all these really popular, Phil DeFranco, Dave Days. We all came together to form this like internet union of people, which was the station. Then became Maker Studios when it became a company. Then Disney bought Maker for $1 billion, and they thought they were getting all the talent, all the people that had been working through Maker. But when they bought Maker, all those people were like, yeah, you don't, they left. And then they realized we have the name Maker Studios, but we don't have the talent that made Maker Studios great.
This is the funny thing. Like, there's things on YouTube called multi-channel networks, which are mostly defunct these days. And they'd be like, sign with us and we can get commercials put on your video so you make money and we get a percentage of it. And then you'd be like, okay, well, I already have ads on my videos. Why should I sign with you? And they say, we'll protect you. We can talk with YouTube. It's a real advantage. And it'll be like X amount of time. They have no control over your content. They can't make you produce content. You're not signed to them with obligations on producing records or videos or anything like that. It's just literally let us rep your ad sales for you. Disney buys it. I remember when I was working at Fusion, there were people who genuinely thought, they were like, when we're gonna do this new project, why don't we pull up our maker talent pool? And I'm like, what does that mean? And they were like, they pulled up this PDF showing all of these YouTubers on Maker, and they're like, we can get any one of these people. And I was like, sure, you can get literally any actor you want. You want to get Brad Pitt, just pay him. And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, these people don't work for you. You bought nothing. You bought the rights to sell ads on their content, and you don't sell ads. You're a production house. And they were like, you mean we can't get these people to be in our shows? I'm like, well, yeah, if you ask them and pay them. But at that point, you might as well ask Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise. And they were like, huh? They genuinely thought buying the network was like buying
the talent.
a record label.
Yeah.
Like the record, like you were signed to this record label, you have to produce 2 albums. We want this album. No, like they could quit at any moment. You had no rights over any of it. So these companies have been completely insane from the get-go. And I think the big issue for the most part is two things. One, they think wokeness works because they don't care. And merit is driving people of real talent away.
Yeah.